Good morning, good night, good day. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India, regarding engineering issues, management issues, general issues. This is my certification of professional engineer, international professional engineer, and this is another certificate of chartered engineer, India Chartered Engineer India, fellow membership. And then also this is another one, fellow membership of Institution of Engineers India, chartered body, Royal Charter, and also various issues like that we have to cover in management. General one. This talk is very brief because I am not healthy. My health is deteriorated because of accident. Even then I like to take interest in interacting with you guys because interaction is very important. Management, misunderstood by everybody, should be clearly understood in clear terms. What is organization? What is management? Is an important point. It's not simply organization and management, it's real one. What is project? What is work? I have to think all this. Time is changing, world is changing. COVID has brought blanket change all over the world. We should not forget that. Blanket change in life. So we have to change everywhere. Dishonesty has to go, honesty has to come. It's mandatory now. Dishonesty has to go. There's no way for dishonesty. Dedication has to come. Determination has to come. Forget management, organize. Management is nothing. Organization is important. Organization of human being, organization of equipment, organization of thought, organization of school of thoughts, college of thought, university of thoughts. It's not simply same means we are just having a line on a stone, we just gave a line. No, it's not line. Thinking is important. I say thinking. If I can't think, I have no right to be called an engineer. I claim that I'm a civil engineer. Am I? That's the question I have to ask myself. Am I? If I can't think for others, I can't think for good work. If I can't think for honesty, if I try to cheat everybody, how can I say I am engineer? Am I supposed to be repetitive? Is repetition in my job? No, my work cannot be repetitive. Every act should be different. I have to improve, like Sigma says, the quality system says. I have to keep improvement, and improvement. Though I don't believe that tolerance in Sigma 6 for civil construction yet. You can say it's a push-in. For example, it says only few mistakes in so many billion activities. Though it's not directly applicable, indirectly it is. I have to understand this fact. I talked about concrete yesterday, some 40 pages from Qatar, civil specs, concrete, chapter 5. I will talk about that in next talk. Now I'm just giving you a brief generality of engineering, construction engineering. Farm engineering is gross. It may be design engineering, it may be research engineering, it may be planning engineering, safety, health and environment engineering, or it may be quality engineering, or it may be construction engineering. All sum up to project. What is project? I have talked many times, but I think people are not too serious to receive all this. No problem, don't receive. You receive or don't receive, I keep on moving. That's my my you can say objective. Moving and moving, don't stop, keep moving. Moving means moving everywhere. Moving in construction, moving in organization, moving in design, moving in achievements, and moving means continuous professional work, as we call CPD, continuous professional development. which is very important from engineering viewpoint and all other professional viewpoints. If I can't think continuously, I can't do continuously. As I raised question at the beginning, what is project? I explained this number of times. What is project and what is operational organization? Project simply means it's never permanent. First of all, it can be research project, it can be construction project, it can be design project, or it can be city development, city construction, mega construction, whatever it is. It has to stop one day, and then its function has to change from project status to operational status. Means project goes to hands of operation, means operator works on that, not project manager or project engineer. Project engineer has to stop there. Silver lining is there when project is delivered in the status of final completion or final closure, or you can say, virtually speaking, contract discharge. At that point we say project has gone, project is over. I was wearing this as I removed the problem. So when project has gone, operation has come into picture. We have to go to other project. That's engineering. And those in maintenance engineering and operation engineering, like mechanical engineers, electronic engineers, and security engineers, they continue on that one. Civil is out. Civil is always temporary, unfortunately. Civil engineers who are responsible for everything. I was reading one post on some Structural Engineers Forum of India and said, I am proud of engineer. I am proud as engineer. Everybody writes that on September 15th, this year 2020, because of the Engineers Day celebration in our country in memory of Bharat and Dr. Visvesharya. I agree with that. But what for we are proud, I don't know. We don't follow Dr. Visvesharya, simple and intellectual and dedicated and devoted person. How many of us are devoted? No, we are not. We have to raise question to ourselves. Are we? Or we are software product? What are we? If an engineer is software product, I don't consider that person a real true engineer. Okay, use software, doesn't matter. But can you use software for thinking? Engineering is what? What can you define engineering as? Define engineering. I ask every student define engineering. I ask every teacher define engineering. Can you? Don't tell me conventional definition. I want practical definition. What is that? What is engineering? Engineering itself is a big, but very small. If you raise question on everything others and seek answer, then you are not an engineer. After passing engineering degree or post-graduation or even doctorate, if you raise questions, elementary questions, these questions, then you are not an engineer. What did you learn in college, in university, if you have to raise questions on every issue? I don't understand meaning behind that. What sort of engineer you are? You are an engineer only if you use mind. Can you use mind? Mind. Engineering is mind, nothing else. Ingenious. Analysis of engineer is ingenious. A person who is genius. And what does it mean? If you are genius, you should answer. In remote circumstances, in you can say rare circumstances, you have to seek answer others to give you. But what's happening? For every small issue, question is raised. I am doing this, I am doing that, I am not finding this, what I have to do? Go to school, go to college and learn. If you cannot answer yourself, don't call yourself engineer. Better. Okay, in some cases when you do not know, you have gone through all books or all information available, unable to find real answer, in that case I can say you can ask others. But for every question you don't want to see book, you don't do their work, you don't want to do any work and you want answer. So your habit shall develop that way. If you spend few hours now, you will be master of your engineering subjects. Self-study is extremely important in engineering. It's not degree, it's not diploma, it's not doctorate. Self-acquisition of knowledge is engineering. Your brain is so strong after passing engineering that it works like unknown power. That is engineering. You think and think, analyze and find different analysis, and then you get answer and apply them. So you can say think and deliver anything, whatever. It's not construction alone. Anything, whatever in life you think of and deliver. You think of something, think, concentrate, and write notes. Because when you think, you do something also. You think and you do something. You think on site or in office and do something and write answer or product or result. That's what is technical work. Technical work you have to generate. You have to find practical methods for problems or implementation of issues, execution statements, method statements, technical statements, queries, coordination engineering, interdisciplinary engineering, all make you better engineer. Public needs service. Public does not care how you do, what you do. It's up to you. Public wants answers, reliable products, reliable which are safe, serviceable and durable. If you can't do that, get out of engineering better. Don't cheat yourself and don't cheat your public all over world, because engineer means person who can work all over world. That is engineering. Of course there are some restrictions, but engineer term is international. Remember, it's not our term, it's not American term, it's none's term, it is human term. If you can do it. Don't deceive yourself. If you think you get salary only for which you are working, then don't work. Engineering is not related to salary. Not at all. Engineering is related to yourself. What can you do for human being? That is engineering. What can you do for human being? Take for example sewerage system. It's sewerage, but it's very brilliant engineering. People don't apply minds just to do it. That's it. I have seen certain nonsense systems also of sewerage in my city, suburban area. What they do? Very excellent people, I have to say. So they are excellent, not excellent, I know, but just a joke also. For them, sewer system is a containment. Containment. You know containment? You don't know. There are two terms. One is septic tank and one is containment. In septic tank, settlements happens, sedimentation happens, anaerobic bacteria work in that and decompose all your night excreta liquid into sludge. First level of sludge. That is what septic tank performs with, and effluent is discharged into soakaway But in containment, it doesn't happen like that. Nothing as such. Collected material, collected liquid is taken out through tanker and dropped somewhere else. It's what is in the city. Whole system about more than 2 meter diameter pipe were laid, and it's a containment. It's a system, but no discharge, no disposal at end. They collect by tankers all time. That's why I'm telling you, spend money a lot. You spend money a lot, but system is different. It's not even sanity, no functional gradient, nothing. So what I say, engineer spends money on project for public welfare, environment improvement, structural adequacy, structural durability, human habitation. Few days back there was a day of World Habitat, housing for all. Imaginary, only imaginary. Is it possible? Talk is possible, seminar is possible, webinar is possible, but practically is deceiving self. I am deceiving myself and you are deceiving yourself. Isn't it? No? So my dear, why I am telling all this? I want to waste your time, that is first criteria. Second criteria, I want to pass my time, that's second criteria. I want to enjoy speaking, that's third criteria. And because you can say I am in bed, so I want to pass time. None of these applies, because it's not my first time. Unfortunately, I am doing it now because I am bedridden, yet it's my habit. Well, up to you guys, public, and you, whether you want to listen or don't listen. Until I live and I have energy. My energy, of course, has reduced a lot. I'm not having that much stamina now because of 2 surgical operations conducted on me in last month. So I'm trying to reconnect with you gradually, not with impact, but with some small talks. So my favorite subject is this: project organization, engineering, quality, contract. As usual, I thought to give as reconnection this small talk, though it's not going to be 5 hours or 4 hours, only some till I can speak, or depends. I used to talk to you at length regarding quality system. Quality system, remember, I did not say quality itself. Quality system without which no project can be delivered. And if delivered without that, means that is rubbish. That can't operate, can't perform. Quality doesn't mean quality control itself. Quality control is very small part of quality system. Quality system, which you may say ISO 9001, 2015, or Sigma, or whatever you say. It's all same. It depends upon you how you wish. If you want to wish to improve your quality system, that system lies in your mind. It doesn't lie somewhere else. Yeah, that's guideline, that system you have to follow. You have to set procedures, just like procedures of your organizations. You have to set responsibilities of everybody. You have to give job descriptions for everyone. You have to do all that. That's okay. That's fine for formality purpose, for procedures, for methods, and you have to follow them. But ultimately, it lies somewhere else. It lies in your soul. How much power of soul you are having, what determination you are having, what willpower do you have, your management, your organization have. It depends upon that. If you fit in that, if you sit in there and see you are an engineer, there may be another engineer. You are working on same project, both performances are different. Why? Though sometimes there is a competition, yet performance does not come. Performance means not production, I'm talking quality production. It does not. Because intellectual level of both are different. One trusts only in quantity, while other trusts quality and quantity. That's where you are required to do quality and quantity. We speak a lot. Everybody speaks a lot. I wrote to Institution of Engineers also when they required some suggestions. I'm not sure about them because they are, I don't know how they are operating. I have set reminder to them also. Think of quality first. Engineers are not giving that performance they are required to give, which is evident from various projects I have gone through and seen. Lapse of quality system completely. No botherance about quality. No botherance at all, unfortunately. I'm not I'm not claiming that I'm expert or perfect of quality, but trying is no hard. I always try. Always try. And this was an only reason that I joined Middle East or Gulf countries before. I worked for government for 6 years and I was disappointed. This I worked from 75 to 80, 80 or 81. When I was too young, new, I qualified my degree in 1980 and my diploma in 1974. So I wanted to reach to degree level and I was located in Delhi, so there was some benefit. I continued my studies with disputes with many seniors because I was transferred from this position, that position because I had disputed with many contractors. Still remember a case that I was posted as a junior engineer in Ashok Vihar, Wazirpur in Delhi, and I was given sanitary plumbing work to supervise. Big, I think it was 180 apartments. And I got code and everything, and because my senior said you have to check everything, examine everything. So I was like a student, I I have to buy codes. I went to ITO, Manak Bhavan, bought relevant IS codes. Then I started started testing, weighing all these systems, stoneware pipes, other pipes, cast iron pipes, sand cast iron pipes. And when you do that, nothing is perfect in market, nothing matched, no weight according to specifications or codes, no thickness, nothing like that, and this food. And I put this all in measurement book, and it exploded like everything. I wrote this work is not according to specification. And my senior became very angry with me. How could you do that? What do you mean? I said, because I did it according to your instruction. So it's not complying with, how can I accept that? You know what happens when you write in measurement book? That this work is not according to specifications and codes. Payment can't be made. And I need that. But truth is truth. Then that senior said, okay, you tell him from here to buy this product. I told him, this is a contractor. He signed a bid, which is now called contract, and it is his job, not my job. It's not my job to go to market and recommend which product he should buy. And I was shunted out from there. I also raised a question. I want a plumber on site who's licensed one. And that contractor claimed, I am an engineer. How can you raise this question? You may be an engineer, I don't mind, but you are a contractor. I want to say qualified plumber. Where is he? So, contractually I spoke. They didn't like. They wanted to polish their shoes. That's it. So I am that type of, you can say, learned person. To that level, where truth always triumphs. But I was shunted out, kicked out from that side, let's say, and went to other side. I'm just giving my reference. I'm not saying I'm Satyavadi Harish Chandra. No, it's not that. I'm just saying engineering career is thorny if you are honest. And if you move with the stream, you can comfortably move, enjoy your salary, enjoy your life, get promotions. But if you go opposite streaming, you have to face all this, because civil construction is not that easy as people think. That's why I say that for me project is different. You have to finish something and hand over that on some date. There are two dates, date of commencement and date of handover. And this duration is called project duration. When you hand something over to client, or you may say, or for operation project, that day status of project is gone, it goes away, and operation or use comes into play. That is what you can say. At one end is date of commencement, otherwise date of completion. This duration is called project. And engineering is what? What is engineering? Think and deliver. Nothing else. Nothing else. How many times you have to think? This is up to you. Because every section, every subdiscipline, every interdiscipline requires thinking. It's very complicated nowadays because of so many building services, structural services are involved. It's not simple. Civil construction, it is civil and services construction. Particularly for buildings, whatever buildings you do, institutional building, residential building, commercial building, or whatsoever you do, except in infrastructural projects, all buildings are very complicated. It's not a structure alone that plays a role. It's services support that plays a role. Service is very important. And that requires engineering coordination, engineering know-how of system. That's where we fail sometimes. If you think as a civil engineer only, I'm a civil engineer, I don't want to interfere in some other, then you are going to be a failure, complete failure. When I was young and in school and I was in university, in Polytechnic and my own engineering education, AMI then, at that time, we learned electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, applied thermodynamics, elements of electronics. I did all that. At that time, we did not understand what was the purpose of that. When I joined field, I felt it's very important. Means I should know what is engineering in electrical, what it says, how it works. When I used to read drawings, I could learn a lot. Used to read HVAC drawings, then electrical drawings, plumbing drawings. Of course, I was not in a position to draw those drawings, of course we could coordinate. So because we had some knowledge of electrical, mechanical, it's easy for me to coordinate various drawings. And then of course you have to learn further shop drawings, working drawings, further coordination and all that. And that's where it's very important, I don't know why people are disturbing me for nothing. They know I'm talking. So what I say, please don't disturb me. Okay? Nonsense people. They know somebody is talking on video and they're disturbing. Hell with you! Bloody fools. So they are thinking and really are nonsense people in this country. So I say, some people pinch while talking. So my dear friends, what I am saying is, don't be comfortable that you are an engineer or a structural engineer, your life is solved. Your life cannot solve like that. You have to be all-rounder. Don't think a structural engineer is only engineer. And don't think civil engineer is only engineer. You have to be an engineer for public. That's important. Yes, you have license, that's okay. Specialization license. But where is public license? Public wants to see results. It doesn't want to see your license. Can you? The bridges collapse, buildings collapse, everything collapse. Where is engineering? There's no engineer this means. There is no engineering this means. That's my point of view. Where is quality if I don't know quality? Where is the specification? I don't know specification. What's the meaning of that? CPU release specification, that is, forget. They're all illiterate people. Obsolete specifications. Make your own specifications. Can you? Learn worldwide specifications. You want to learn something. Concrete is very important part of life of an engineer, civil engineer. Concrete. How many people have gone through specifications of concrete? I am asking structural engineers. How many of you know about the specifications? No, they don't. We don't know specifications. And you claim designs are okay. That's a question. Without knowing something, we claim we are. The structural engineer claims, I am designing, so I am a structural engineer. No, I don't accept this. Did you work on site? And if you didn't work on site, how can you say you are a complete structural engineer? So you may be a structural design engineer, but not a structural engineer. You may mind my statement, but fact is that. You may be something, but until you do yourself, you can't claim that you are this. That is important point. Similarly, safety. You all claim safety first, safety first. Where is it? Safety, you mean site safety or structural safety? Both are there. Both must be taken. Site safety is for site purpose. Structural safety is for structural purpose. And reliability definition includes in itself safety, reliability. Says safety is a part of reliability, serviceability is a part of reliability, durability is a part of reliability. So we can say reliability of a structure equals safety plus serviceability plus durability, and durability is very important in that. To understand that, be clear. In normal language, dur means distance, long distance, though distance. How long can this structure work as it is, as it was designed, or the intention behind design, service? Can it move to that distance? In fact, that's virtual meaning of durability. Yes, service it would do, it shall remain safe. Reliability is that. If I design something, I think it will work for 50 years, 100 years. Yes, it would. What about fire? Question arises. Can my structure wait for 2 hours, 3 hours? In cities, life is very complicated. And we are thinking for high rise, multi-stories. Yes, we can. But what about fire? Have you ever thought that way? Oh no, we provide extra cover, we provide this and that. It's okay, fine. Is that perfect one? Reduced section, you know very well what is reduced section? During fire, so there's half an hour exposure to fire, 1 hour exposure to fire, and maybe more, because our fire extinguishing system is not very functional, it's not efficient. Can we think of that? How? Theoretically we can say that surface temperature of element, say column or beam, is more during fire than internal portion of that, core portion of that. How to make sure that for 1 hour this fire shall not reach steel reinforcement? That raises a question mark. Should we change the steel reinforcing detailing? That is also a question mark. what sort of concrete we should have, how can you make a better concrete so that this may stand for long, or we depend on the application of epoxy or fireproof paint, fire resistant paint, I'm sorry. All these points require thorough understanding. Remember, it is a structure, it's life of people that if a structure collapses or fire is on, lift won't work and people shall suffocate while coming down stairs. So what should be step size? That's also another point. There's so many complications are there. You cannot say we can solve it 100%. Where should we keep service room during fire? Everything is off, light is off, current is off, everything is off. But we have to extinguish fire. How, where, from? All these points require attention. Land is very remote now, very small, it's not available. So this is, I'm not saying I'm giving solution in this talk. I'm just trying to share with you what I think. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, maybe you are better than what I think. You can think far better than what I think, possibly, because you are a very qualified person. I am an ordinary person. I am not calling myself expert. And I am not expert. I am very small engineer. Foreman I am, finish. Charge hand I am, finish. But still, I think safety for everybody. Quality for all the activities. Quality. We say we have quality, we think we have given strength, compressive strength, so it's quality. Really? You think so? If you get only compressive strength successfully in your laboratory test from your cube, you think it's quality? That's where you fail. You know, real concrete quality is on site. It's not in cubes. Real quality lies on site. How many times did you test cores, drill from slabs or from columns? Never ever. Oh no, codes accept this, ACI accepts this, evaluation of strength, ACI permits this and BS permits this. Why do we hide? Why do you hide ourselves behind codes only? Soil, father of engineering. If soil is not considered thoroughly, soil though it's very normal, we can say. We don't value soil because it's not expensive. It's not at all expensive and it is considered rubbish, But this rubbish is top material in construction of all structures. Everywhere. And if soil is not well understood by designer, by site manager or organizer, I am including site person here because ultimately it's not theoretical on site, it's practical on site. One has to confirm on site, one has to confirm on site. Practical safe bearing capacity of soil. And if one does not do, I don't know what's written in a specification, but it must be a part of specification that confirm real safe bearing capacity or real capacity of soil on site. That's very important point. As a part of soil investigation, before starting blinding concrete or other foundation or compaction work. If that's not done on site, shielding behind no provision in specifications or items, then you are just trusting what designer has included in that based on initial soil investigation report. And that's all fake then. I can say your foundation is laid on imaginary bearing capacity. I have done it. That's what I'm saying. It should be a part of site work. Must be. You must test on site what actually is. Just like you test other materials like piles, like other all, it should be. Quality system is no joke. It's your own baby. You are master of that. You design that system. You design every part of that system. ISO 9001 2015 is liberal but stricter. It puts on heads of organizations control responsibility. You cannot skip. In 2008, only quality division was responsible, but now head is also responsible for quality. So system must be clear. Doesn't mean it should be books. It can be simple as well. Method can be simple. That's what I'm saying. You have to write your own system. You have to design it, understand it, and your organization has to approve it, and then you have to apply it. This is not simply quality work system. This is system of organization. Purchase, human resources, people's recruitment, employees recruitment, budget control, and quality, safety, all should be covered within such procedures. I'm talking of major organizations. I'm not talking street organizations. And even if it's 2 persons organization, it doesn't matter. It should be same. This is what I'm stressing about quality system. And if we cannot do that, we move on wrong path. We move on a system where contractor does its way, its own way, and should be permitted only according to procedures. If we cannot follow procedures, we cannot do work rightly. And it's also right that if you follow procedures, it doesn't mean it gives you real product. Project charter is very important point which people miss always. Organization says charter is very important. Which charter? Project charter. Project charter means it may be contracting charter, it may be design charter, it may be whatever charter, or client charter. Who are stakeholders in that? What is objective? How to achieve this? And everything should be recorded, and it should tell in explanatory mode how it's going to perform when you review. That's important. Now next one, charter, you can see yourself. You go to planning. Planning, as I said, safety, planning, quality, all are there. It's not simple one. But controls of planning should be practical, not simply bar chart. You say I produce bar chart and that's what it is. Production of bar chart is one part. Bar chart, master chart, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. How to find that? What's the principle behind that? Bar chart drawing is not problem. Problem is calculation of resources. Don't go to people what they provide. You must have your own data You must have your own data. Nonsense people here. You must have your own data, and that data should be used. Cultural data, you can say, work cultural data, not data taken from books. Data recorded from past projects. That is very important. That should be used. But how? RCC projects involve major element of workers, which are who are carpenter, certain former carpenter, and steel fixers and all that. We have to take them unit of planning, which shall result in others units automatically. That unit of planning means you have a set number of months or years for this job. There is period which is known as mobilization period, and also there is a period that's called demobilization period or testing and commissioning period. These do not give you any support for project. So you have to discount this period of mobilization, which is only for temporary establishment of site, like camping, office establishment, and yards and preparation of site areas, layout, lay down areas, and offices likewise, which do not count for permanent works. This, and then added to that, is commissioning, testing and commissioning generally, which is 2 months on major projects. So this 1 month of mobilization and 2 months of commissioning must be taken out, and then real balance is your project duration, and that duration should be charted out in different way. What time do you want to give to RCC element or concrete element? Generally I think 60% to 70%, depending on quantity of RCC. You have to see that practical angle, practical aspect also in that. And if you miss that, you'll miss everything. And once you fix that, so there may be 10,000 cubic meter concrete, 20,000 cubic meter concrete, 100,000 meter, depending. You have to spread that on that period of whatever duration you consider for RCC, because you have to give space to services also, infrastructure also, everything. And then you can take quantity, average quantity of form and steel. That is unit, I say, unit control for planning. And once you do that, I think you move on planning. Your master plan, then that's all level 1 and 2, 3, and then jump on to 5 for resources. That's what you do. So plan is that way, not what people do. You have to move back from completion date and then load resources. Sometimes it may look that you are overloading resources. Yes, then you have to label them. And that's what is important point. It depends on everybody how you do. It's not simple. I just given what I used to do. Software is complicated. You may be using MS Project or you may be using Primavera. That's different. But goal is same, product is same. Then you once find these workforce strength of civil construction, which will automatically convert to services depending upon time. And then you can move on to work out equipment, simple, no difference, and based on which you can calculate item wise budget as well. It is very important point. Now, forget it. System as a whole is very important in construction. Coordination engineering, top requirement. Coordination engineering is very top requirement, and if you fail coordinate, you can fail everywhere. Coordination means what? You may say we will use BIM, we will use this, we will use that. Yes, you can. No one can replace your mind. Don't forget all these drawings, structural, architectural, services, and all, and documents, specifications, FEED, FEED, front end engineering design, all move from one hand to other hand to other hand, and then other hand to other hand. These documents are not produced in one day. These documents take months to produce, and in those months, how many people change chair? How many people change hands on computers? We know. So one error can accumulate to another error, and software are not going to work out them. We have to. So if you cannot concentrate on drawings, this may be scheme drawings, or this may be IFC drawing, or issued for construction drawing, which is very important, issued for construction, which is authentic seal drawing that permits you to work on site. And if you don't go through that thoroughly, not only structural drawing, architectural drawing, structural drawing, services drawing in combination, if you don't do that, you kill yourself engineering wise, because you trust that drawing, but that drawing does not trust you. Mind it. You may say, no, this is used for construction, this must be correct. No, forget it. That is only a seal, sealed by someone. It doesn't give assurance, it doesn't give a mandate that this is right drawing. There may be any detail missing on that. Experience yourself. Experience yourself. So you have to go through each architectural related, coordinated, structural and services drawings much, or you can say many weeks before you implement those details. It's in your own interest, because once you do work according to ill-coordinated drawing, that detail is easy to work, but modification of that is very expensive. And by chance, if you pour concrete on ill-coordinated drawing, you know, concrete is such an element. It's very easy to pour, but it's very expensive and time consuming to reinstate the right requirement. If you cannot understand this point, then you can never be a practical person. Never. Forget that you are an engineer. If you are really an engineer, you have to be responsible. Foreman may say anything, sergeant may say anything, your boss may say anything, consultant may say anything, you may say anything. But work says something else. That point is very important. In some cases, cathodic protection is required. Cathodic protection, do you know what is that? Particularly in certain projects where it's mandatory to provide cathodic protection, like in major plants where there is no chance acceptable, there's no way, no tolerance to accept any rusted steel, even in future, once this element of concrete is operational. So what they do, steel is new and immediately it's used on site, and there's a central control on whole plant where cathode control is there. Cathodic protection it's called. Means if there is any oxidation or whatever is there, is drawn to cathodic center. For which purpose we use anode on element. Anodic arrangement is called, it's called critical cathodic arrangement. Cathodic protection is called critical cathodic protection and non-critical cathodic protection. These are terms. Critical cathodic protection means where it's very, very complicated. Every bar is connected, every bar. It may be raft, it may be massive block, it may be slab, it may be whatever. There are C clamps. These clamps are put on every bar, and wire moves on, naked wire, GI wire, and it's circuited and connected to anode on column or somewhere else, and this is connected later to cathodic center. This is for critical cathodic protection, and generally used on all major foundations, major massive block foundations. I've done it. And the other one, which is called, and remember, this anode is inbuilt. This is cast in concrete. This is not somewhere else. It's cast in. And internally it works. And then non-critical, which is in ordinary columns, just a boss is left. A boss is fixed and wire is left for cathodic connection. So if you are not aware of this, you can read details of cathodic protection on major projects. So this is called corrosion control of concrete, because every plant is minimum given an age of performance age of 30 years. That 30 years can be enhanced by, you can say, retrofitting. But steel must be okay, because there's huge moisture on such plants. All such plants are located near water bodies like sea. So there's humidity very high, So there's every chance that moisture may flow in. And when cathodic protection is managed, is designed, so epoxy coating is not acceptable. And where there is epoxy coating in ordinary buildings, their cathodic protection is not required. You have to understand phenomenon behind this. This is a very important point from practical viewpoint. If you want to protect your steel, you have to either use epoxy coating or you have to use cathodic protection. But cathodic protection cannot be used on every individual buildings. It's not possible until you connect all buildings, which may be a part of smart city. I don't know this smart city guy know this or no, or we know all this or but it's very, very important point. So I say, if you want to protect your steel from corrosion, from rapid chloride, right? Rapid chlorides which enter in terms of columns. Rapid chloride penetration it's called, which causes corrosion on steel. Chlorides not permitted. So what do? I did one villa in Qatar, 1996, I think, I remember. Big villa, located at sea, beach villa it was called. I was surprised to see means they were using epoxy coating and concrete with microsilica. A good one. Overlap was increased because paint, cathodic protection is a coating. So overlap was increased and touch-up paint was applied all time, because when you fix a cut steel, band in fix and place in position, sometimes there is erosion on surface. So for that, same paint is touch is given on that part, and it is a green color paint. Paint means coating, cathodic epoxy coating, and because it should be completely coated, then microsilica was used, so that microsilica itself is a supplementary cement supplement, and it can wait up to 8 hours. This is beauty of microsilica. Silica fumes, you can say, that even if you lay concrete on site without vibrator, just lay, it won't set in. It won't set in means say you want to wait for 7 hours. No problem, wait. Until you apply vibrator, microsilica shall not be bound. That is difference of application. It will remain as it is and easy to pump. I think a maximum percentage of microsilica is 8 or 9, not more than that. It's not like GGBS that here microsilica is admixture, it's not replacement. I'm just telling you, GGBS and PFA are replacements. This is different. Here is replace OPC, so become part of cement. Sorry. So my purpose is not to give you technical backup in this, just trying to reflect what I have done and should be done. And it's just to try to share with you how we have to think. We have to think in a different way now. Will not be, just follow up what's given. Yes, follow up, but we have to write too. We have to write too what we have to do. And if we cannot write, then you know what happens. You can't do your way. You may be chief engineer, you may be superintending engineer, you may be engineering director, whatever. If you think only in commercial terms, leaving technical terms behind, congratulations, it's up to you. I'm not that sort of person. The world has become different. You have to think for each activity how best you can do. Reference to other projects, no meaning. If we can't improve ourselves, if we can improve ourselves, that's best policy. And every project is new, every activity is new, every work is new, and if we can understand that point, we are master of our destiny. We can write our destiny. We can write our objective. We can think where we want to reach. And that's CPD. That is continuous professional development, where you must know what is law. You must know what is contract. You must know what is human resources application, improvement. You must know what is SHE, ergonomics. You must know quality system. You must know everything. or not simply subjects. You should know interdisciplinary word. You should know what is law of that country, what is special specification of that country, and what did you know in your college. That is far behind now. Yes, design is there, specification is there, but that is far behind. BE, ME, PhD, they are gone. It's gone, forget that. Another degree, another learning and learning and learning and learning and thinking and thinking. How many of us do it? I'm asking everyone. When you do some work as a consultant or as an engineer or as a contractor, in whatever sector in this country, how many times have you written in advance method statements of activity? Ask the question yourself. Did you? And if you did, it's fine. I'll be happy. And if you did not do that, what was reason for that? Why you did not do that? This means you thought, oh no, my people know all this. You may say, my people know that. Your people know what? If you don't know, how can your people know? Point is there. If you don't know, how can your people know? If you don't know. Question or answer what it is. I learned this first time in 1986. I was contractor agent on a school project in Doha. This was a big slab pour, suspended slab, big one, and we had no preparation. We had no preparation. We had just, I think, pumps, mobile cranes, and we just wanted to have approval of that slab from engineer. Engineer inspected everything, passed reinforcement, passed formwork, passed everything. And question was asked, means he didn't approve. Question was asked. I'm not understanding, this engineer said, how you are going to pour it. He asked me simply, give me a method statement. The British, of course, and direct site in charge was one Lebanese engineer. This guy, Lebanese engineer, you can't expect all this from these chaps. Moreover, he was from French university, so question of English answer was not possible. He asked me what to do. Don't worry. We had one site diary. We used to write report of every day, site statistics and approvals and rejections, everything. There was no formal way in those times. No computers. 1980s we were talking, so I said, okay, I'll get you tomorrow, don't worry. Well, actually, I had to reflect what we had to do, but we are going to do that. Nothing else. It's a method statement. It was my first time method statement I wrote in my career. Before that, nowhere. So, okay. I wrote inside diary location of site, slab, and where to station pump and where to station crane, and how many transfer mixer we have to use, and means this slab is in access. These machines are accessible to each and every part of this slab. And I put everything on diagrammatic form, and that next day engineer was surprised. Actually, he was examining me, in fact, to be very frank, whether or not this Indian person knows something. I was very young, I think 30 years. So He approved that after talking to his chief consultant. And we did it. This is what is self learning. Sometimes you can't find such things from books. No way, you can't. But you have to do that. That is where your knowledge, your practical understanding works. So that's what I'm saying. Engineering is different. As I said many times, people are not serious. Concrete is not cement, sand, or aggregate. This is not concrete or water. This is structure, concrete structure. Not I'm saying a structure of building. Concrete in structural form. How does it behave internally? And conduct of concrete internally for its complete from initial setting to hardened status, and from hardened status to further hardened status. That is what it is all about. हाँ, बस ऐसे वीडियो कर रहा था कुछ. अभी कहाँ खाई है रोटी? रोटी तो 11 बजे मिलेगी. अभी तो मंदिर में है वो. अच्छा. अच्छा, तो कल आ जाता. कल आ जाता. अच्छा. हाँ. 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 अच्छा. अच्छा, तो ये वाली ले जाना गाड़ी. अब जो खड़ी है ये वाली चला लेते दिन. हाँ. अच्छा, चल कोई बात नहीं, बाहर आते हैं. हाँ, वो नींद आ जाएगी फिर उसको. चल यहाँ खा लेगा. 11 साढ़े 11 मिलती है यहाँ तो. अरे ये खाता ही तो नहीं है. हो ही जाता है इसके पेट में. कोई बात नहीं. क्या? नहीं नहीं, ताला मैं बोल दूंगा उसको अभी. अच्छा, ओके. Sorry gentlemen, there's some call from my sister, so because I'm in bed, somebody has to come to support me. You know that I was in accident on 12th of September, operated on 14th of September and 18th of September in my left leg. So I am in bed always now, and maybe I'll continue for 2 months or 3 months, I don't know. Just I'm informing you because I'm not sitting in my computer desk. That's the reason only. Well, still I'm interested to talk to you guys. Well, sorry for this phone disturb you now. So what I was saying, that concrete in itself is a structure. It's not simply addition of various ingredients. Ingredients have to perform themselves, and that's where we understand. It's not that it should be washed properly, they should be cleaned properly, they should be joined properly, combined properly, mixed properly. And that's where it works. Means temperature of water, temperature of concrete, temperature of curing, temperature of hardened concrete, all these points count for durability of concrete. Durability is not simple what we think about. Durability depends on many factors. Of course, cover is there, strength is there, everything is there. Design and every means we can say, type of cement, water cement ratio, all count. But on top of that, it's like our body temperature. what should be our temperature, what should be our blood pressure. We monitor ourselves. So concrete is also living being, in fact. It's not dead. We may say it's dead load, though we consider dead load is okay, that's from calculation viewpoint. But those perform, those dead load perform to contain live loads. So you cannot say it is absolutely dead. These can perform only when they are well designed, well constructed, well built, well controlled. So what I say when I ask my colleagues or someone who sometimes have a chance to talk about about this, though I learned not here, I learned overseas all this during my construction works, and moreover I am now trying to disseminate concrete specifications to you people from Qatar Civil specifications, though it doesn't matter from where it is as far as information is available. And I find much development in that. So we have to rely on that information. Temperature of water for use in concrete, temperature of concrete itself, temperature of curing, temperature of surface and temperature inside massive blocks. All these involve technology. You cannot ignore one. Oh, leave this, it doesn't matter. No problem, we'll do it. This means you are going to harm your material. Concrete is a permanent material. You are going to harm that without having reliable information. You are not doing engineering in that case. You are doing contractor work only. I had to finish and get money. Contractor doesn't matter. Work matters. Even if you are employed by a contractor, it's your duty to do professional work. It's not contractor's duty. Contractor's paying you for what? For this. It's your responsibility. Technically, activity is your responsibility. Budget is contractor's responsibility. If concrete fails, it's not contractor's responsibility, it's your responsibility as contractor agents. Even if it doesn't fail, it doesn't serve what it was intended to serve for. It's your responsibility. It's consultant's second responsibility. First responsibility goes to qualified person who works directly on site. If you can't do that, you can't understand that, you have to understand it, learn it. It is your job description. Your job description. That's what I wrote to Institution of Engineers about this. I don't think they will bother about that. You have to change people of this country through change of knowledge of engineers. Quality element in construction, particularly concrete material, is not according to current requirement. No, not at all. And I'm not scared to say that. Not at all. One should speak frankly in interest of everyone. Just if you don't improve, we don't hold classes for engineers. We don't do our job. It's job of Institution of Engineers and other institutions to train employees of this country who are engineers. Whether they may be working in government or they may be working in private sector, engineer is engineer. And if you can't update yourself, what's the purpose of engineer? You just want to sway in same direction water moves, then you are not engineer. You have to stand in sun. You have to do everything. Even your chief engineer or superintendent doesn't matter. Engineer means who can deliver. Simple answer is that. And also to the designers who keep off from sites, I would suggest be a part of site. Don't think you are separate. Your design is very honest, very sincere, like a temple. But site is like a khandar. You know khandar? Old broken area where buildings or monuments existed. It's a ghost town. It's a ghost area. You have to put soul into that. That soul. When you put in that, your design shall shine. Otherwise, your design is nothing but water. That person, layman, or you can say idiot on site, I am calling myself, would spoil everything. Because that person is only interested in delivery of product, even at cost of quality. Oh, consultant has approved this, he has approved this, I should not worry. That person does not know legal value of that. Approval by consultant or approval by engineer got no meaning in law, because they are not paid for delivery of your project. You are paid. They are paid just to support you, and they support you when they ask you to do it according to specification. That's it. After that, they are not responsible. You charge money, you charge bid, you charge costs of that one. So you are responsible. This point, if you understand, I think we can understand everything. Contractor's engineer is always responsible, remember. If work is done through contractor, if it's not done through contractor, that is different. I have been with contractor in many sites, also with government in many sites. And when I was in government also in Libya, I was working like a contractor, believe me. There was no contractor, I was consultant, I was contractor. We received drawings from France Sarkam designer, and very good drawings. Completely descriptive, though in French language. I still remember that time of 1984. I was working on in Sirte town army base, Sirte, which is now in disputed area. I got drawings from Sarkam, French, and very elaborate drawings at that time, because we had no computer system those days. So every activity was mentioned how to do that, and I did that. Exactly, I did that. And when their person came, their engineer came from France, just to ensure whatever was done according to their drawings. That person came, inspected site for a few days, and I was surprised. And that person took out even his banyan, just to ensure, because why I'm paid for one mass. He had only underwear in checked in that whole area, and asked me many questions, and I answered him, I did this way, I did that way. So he said, okay, fine. So I was the working on behalf of government of Libya there. Actually, it was a joint venture of government of Libya and government of India, electrical construction company. So I was in the government employee. There was no. They said, no, you do yourself. I like that. They say you are engineer and you do it yourself. That's why we hired you. No problem. I stayed in desert for 2 years with my crew. So I did that job. What's wrong with that? But when you do yourself, yes, they supported. Of course, I don't say they supported everywhere. They used to come to site and ask problems, what material do you need, over here. Everything was supported, and I like that. So We did it. You may call it departmental work. Yes, it was departmental work. Why I am telling all this? Just to let you feel that everything is not same. I am talking a country like Libya where even nails are not able sometimes. Nails are not able sometimes. In such situations, I worked in Iraq as well. I worked in Doha, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, Jeddah. Everywhere I learned different. I worked with British people, American people, Lebanese people, Palestine people, Egypt people, Syrian people. I don't know how many more. Far East people, our people. You change your attitude in that case because work culture is not same as we think here it is. Their work is that means who is valued there if you know work. You give delivery, that's it. If you can't give delivery, whatever your position be, whatever you are thrown out. Simple. If you can't deliver what is expected of you, it's not bad at all. And I can say, अब पानी गिर रहा है, पानी गिर रहा है. I can't go there, that's the problem. Well, let's continue. It's a side problem here. So, what I was saying, I forgot. Yes, engineer means a person who can deliver. I have seen foremen, Arabic foremen. Believe me, they may not know English, but they are dynamic in the use of machines. They are dynamic in use of material. They are dynamic in use how to pour concrete. I gave one method statement to one Lebanese foreman who used to talk to me like this. Oh, Mr. Suraj, I eat bridges, I eat flyovers. I was surprised with this talk. You eat bridges? Yes, I eat bridges, I eat flyovers. I gave him a method statement, approved one for pouring a massive block of 500 cubic meter concrete in one go. He said, okay, I know. You have seen. Don't worry, I know how to do it. He said, you want the stepping? Yes, I will do stepping, don't worry. He knew his job. He just read that document in one go and he did that successfully. He did successfully, but I was not ready for that. How to follow up? See my weakness. Baruj, a company here, came to ask us a question during that pour. How we are going to cure it? Our project manager, our head director, they could not answer. Then he just talked. I don't want normal curing, formal curing on that. Means the one was Palestinian, other was also Palestinian Lebanese. And so I said, what do you want actually? I want thermal curing. They never heard this term, our seniors. I said, okay, I got you. Means he just said, I don't want evaporation. I want heat stay within concrete. Very clear answer. Means flooding was not acceptable. Okay. It was about 1.8 meters depth and I think 500 cubic meter massive block. So I got a response. Okay, you want evaporation not to go? What I mean was that already there is form vertically. Vertical form is there all around. Problem was on exposed surface. Means there is no way you just put polythene and flood it, because your flooding water shall not reach internal depth of 1.8. So what he said, he just explained later on, do whatever, you cover this, that's it. You cover this with sand or cover it with polystyrene or do whatever you want. I want it sealed. You got me? I want it sealed. Unfortunately, when I made method statements, I did not write this point. I said that we will do normal curing. This point he did not accept. So he raised question. Okay, we arranged that. We arranged all materials. We piled up with sand and material covered it. And then polythene was placed first, then sand on polythene, not directly with concrete. First polythene cover and then sand and then more. So complete seal was there, and because it was hot, so we just sprayed water externally also on formwork to maintain temperature, because in that portion maximum temperature of concrete during pouring was 24 degrees Celsius, not more than that. And thermometers were installed in for rising and falling purpose. So they wanted to monitor temperature as well. Whatever it happened means we did that, and kept cold from surroundings, and it was for you can say for few days when the shutter time, you can say striking shutter time came. By that time, and also I just add where I missed that this concrete was 70% replacement by GGBS, ground granulated blast furnace slag. This was concrete of that type. I learned also that much. So then on 8th day, I remember, by that time most reactions or most curing means actual heat retention was over. We took out sides, I think 7th day or 8th day, I don't remember. And we applied curing compound after pouring water on that surface, so that shuttering was shifted to other project. This is why I'm telling, because I learned at that project what is another type of curing, and that is called thermal curing. Curing heat which is generated, which is produced by chemical reaction between water and cement and cementing material. That heat is not allowed to be escalated to it's to be maintained within that body, so that water remains there, heat remains there, everything remains there. So automatically reaction will be over. Miss, this is what thinking is. I didn't find in any literature. I didn't find in any book. I didn't find anywhere this generation of engineer's mind. How can engineer think? And that's what I'm saying. Thinking is very important in each and every step of construction and design engineering. Repetition does not have any value without modification, without actual amendment. Thinking element is always very important. And if you cannot think, don't call yourself engineer, because thinkless person is a follower. If you want to follow only, follow it like layman. You are a foreman. Simple. Your title may be engineer, but you are not thinking. You are a foreman. You are a charge hand. Simply saying, if you think and do, you are brilliant. You are leader. In engineering, leadership think, not politics. I'm not talking politics. In engineering, leadership has to think, and if leadership cannot think, that leadership cannot lead. So simple. We don't need any organization, we don't need any MBA, we don't need anything else for engineering thinking. Engineering is a contemplation, it is an imagination to practical shape. It starts with hypothetical, it starts with skepticism, it starts with imagination, and then result is delivered. That is engineering. Simple. If you ask, if I ask you definition of engineering, I would answer you simply think and deliver. You can think new and deliver, that's it. Every project is new in civil engineering. I'm not talking machine. Machine is repetition. But in engineering, in civil, structural, construction, you think whatever you want to think. And if you can do it, deliver it. That is beauty of engineering. That is called engineering innovation. Engineering innovation. And engineering innovation means work of engineer. And if I do just follow, oh no, I'm not supposed to think, it's not my job, then I have no comment on that. Who can comment on that? That's why I'm saying, always try to study yourself. Don't ask questions. And if you ask questions, this way you did not study in a university, you did not study somewhere until it is compulsory or it's beyond your qualification. You can ask. You have to ask. Okay, fine. Conference is a must, but not for each and every requirement. A specification may be misleading sometimes. Analyze it, study it. It doesn't mean it is Gita, Quran or Bible. Everything can be misleading. Field can be misleading. Specification can be misleading. Drawing can be misleading. But who is there to check it? It is engineer who has to check it. And if you cannot check it, bye. Engineering, there may be thousands and thousands of engineers. Are they really? Are they really? Question is that. I am not used to criticize anyone. No use. Because you criticize yourself, I know. You might be thinking, oh, if I had done a study, good study, if I can now. You can study anything. Don't depend upon study formally. Study in work. That is your degree. Because from work it goes to university. It does not come from university to work, remember. It is engineering work that is created, that is done on field, and that knowledge is shifted to engineering college, university. So father is on site, father and mother are on site, and offsprings are there in university. Professors take care of offsprings, not of parent. That's what I understand. Every year of or every project of engineering is itself a degree. If you really involve yourself in that, honestly, by undergoing, by analyzing, by studying thoroughly all project documents, all, you learn a lot which you cannot learn even you are in 2 years post-graduation degree. It's like a doctoral work. It's like real doctoral work where you are working yourself without any guidance. Objective is clearly given to you that you have to deliver this project, this object with your own efforts. Thorough study, thorough analysis, best method you think can be done with, can be used. That's what it is. I don't want to say more than that because I know everybody thinks they're friendly, and I also know that you will not like my statement as such because 95% of you are highly qualified. I am not that much. You may say because this person is not very highly qualified, he is not accepting us. No, not at all. I accept you more than myself. You are more brilliant than what I am, but everybody has a right to express. I am expressing my experience. I am not challenging anybody because I know experience is best professor. If you are experienced, yes, you might have done many mistakes, indeed. Nevertheless, you are leader of your own. By your efforts, you are using money, you are using resources, you are taking all risks. You may do something wrong, you may do something right, but on your accountability, which is required. Obligation, responsibility, mistakes, disputes, all do happen, but all lead to lessons learned. And lessons learned means what? If you can't record lessons learned, you are not a professional. Lessons learned must be recorded for others to refer to, and you, when join some other organization, you can refer to those lessons recorded by your predecessors. So what is lesson? That lesson was university lesson only. This is real lesson. That was imaginary. That was hypothetical. This is factual. This is cultured lesson, work culture lesson. What mistakes were caused? How did accident happen? What we have to do? How design was erroneous? How did we modify that? How this slab was wrong? How this slab was defective? All those you have to understand. That's what I say, that think differently. Don't go on lines which other move. Operational research is a part of construction engineering. I'm not saying basic research, operational research. And remember, no one can bind you to use this method. Method is not under copyright. You can use whatever you think you can. It should be best one. It should use optimum resources, optimum time. And once you understand value of method statement, then you can say you are a leader in execution. Because method statement is a document that gives you direction in writing. Direction in writing. It can be changed anytime. I'm not saying it can't be changed. If you wish, you can change it. No, nothing wrong with that. Because this is your method. But before work is done, nothing wrong with that. Change it. Experience it. And or for next activity you can change it. If you find there was some problem, change it. And once you write one method, two method, third method, fourth method, it shall be a pleasure for you. And not only structural concrete method you have to write, you have to write methods for all activities I said. Excavation method statement, blinding method statement, concrete production method statement, waterproofing method statement, filling method statement, backfilling, injured fill, ordinary fill, how to design backfill material, that's another point. Means column shutters, columns reinforcement, whatever you think. based on your experience or how best you can do it. Every building, I think, can get 100 method statement depending on your requirement. You can write plastering, rendering. Plastering is for internal area, rendering is for external area. Epoxy flooring, cement flooring, mosaic flooring, marble stone, roofing, landscaping. Means it's up to you. You have to self-teach. Nobody is there to teach you. You have to self-teach and you have to self-grade yourself and you have to self-degree yourself. Why not? I feel I am a doctorate. What's wrong with that? My work has to tell or my certificate has to tell? Certificate or work, you have to decide. Always project tells what you are, remember. Always project says what you are. You must have that confidence. Every project you deliver is a proof, evidenced that it is you, your caliber, your potential. And that's why it's a part of your curriculum. It's a credit to you that you did it. So they don't ask questions about theory in that case. Already that's done. So they will ask questions about that project. How did you do this project? What did you learn from this project? If again you are given this project, how shall you do it? How shall you amend it, modify it, and take best work of this? Well, I think that's an interesting point. To me at least, maybe not to you, but to me it's really interesting one. Well, there is no limit to talk, but I am still interested because I wanted to express myself again and again and again and again. Maybe you people start feeling bored. Once you start feeling bored means you are not engineer. Think on what I am saying and cross me so that I again think on that. When you think, you can never feel bored. Solution of boredom is thinking. Solution of removing fatigue from your mind, if your body is thinking. Thinking gives you energy. Thinking gives you everything. And thinking is solution of every problem. Unfortunately, people do not think. They think only limited. And if you think, you can do miracles. So my unit of talk is thinking. Engineer's job is thinking. And project is think and deliver. So engineer duty is think and deliver. Think and deliver. It's not simple one subject or one line. There's too much gap in this. Thinking, delivery. So many stations are there. So many airports are there in between. You have to fly over all of them. That is what it is. Can you know this? You try it, analyze your projects, what you did, where you start. Everybody of yourself have a right to analyze, and if you can analyze that, you are a successful person, because self-realization is most important. Whatever you did in your life, just like you self-realize your personal life, you self-realize your professional life. How did you start some project? Where did you reach after that? You have to. And if you can do that, you know what I mean. If you can do that. If you can do that, that's where you stand for. That's what I stand for. If you can do that. And if you cannot do that, then I think I am wrong. I am on wrong track. If I cannot convince you to think, then I think something is wrong with me. Maybe I'm not able to understand, or I'm not able to explain to you what I wanted, what I did. Well, it's up to you. You are a responsible personality. You are a responsible professional. Civil engineer is top responsible in development, because first and last is civil engineer. All others are sandwiched. First and last is civil engineer. All others are in between. And if civil engineer is successful, project is successful. I'm not saying that civil engineer is exclusive one, but name itself is civil, which means you cannot say that you can run away from responsibility. And also remember, all failures of projects, maybe foundation failure or maybe some other failure or delays or whatever. Delays I can't exactly say, but failures or defective projects are due to either fake civil engineers or weak civil engineers, or those who never take interest in jobs, or who just ignore activities because of them. If civil engineer is a strict one, hard one, dedicated and devoted to job, there is no meaning, there is no way that project can fail. Civil engineer, I should say first engineer in society, all over world. That is what I am proud for. I am not proudful because I am not prideful. I don't have pride that I am civil engineer, but because I am first requirement, that's my beauty. And first requirement is last requirement. I am there at start and I am there at end as civil engineer. That is my responsibility. Why to be proud of? I am not alone. I am interdisciplinary engineers. I have 20 times, probably 30 times workforce on whom my success depends. Their success does not depend on me. My success as civil engineer depends on them. That's what I have to see. And if I cannot respect them, I cannot support them, I cannot raise voice for them, then I do not perform my duty as civil engineers towards my juniors. My juniors means my employees, subordinates, subordinates. I am just a leader, but leader can only lead, direct. Real work is done by masses, and they are my masses, my crew, my workforce. Of course, without them I can't do anything. Yes, they may not be well educated, but they know job. That's what I have to say. This is my control like that. If those people don't do work, design is ineffective, work is ineffective. If they work, we get response, we get project, and we get success. That is beauty where civil engineer stands in. I do not take it conventional, I take it analytical. Civil engineering changes all time. It's never same. Mechanized world has changed it completely. Environment has added to it some value. Interdisciplinary management organization has added to its value. Activity management, activity organization, material changes added to its value. Time has added value. Because time is different now. Fast track projects are there. Systems are there. Everything is there. Designs are different. Methods are different. Experiments are conducted before doing something. So all that add to vast domain of civil engineering. Civil engineering means human engineering, I can say. Human civilization. Civil engineering that requires you to clear your original area. Even there is dirt or dust. There is, plants or you can say stool or urine or water or whatever. You have to start from that scratch. And you have to deliver a palace duly built. That palace you have to deliver. That is finished product where somebody can come and turnkey to get in and use that. That point is very important, and we have to understand that. If you cannot do that, you are not in your profession. I don't know why. I learnt all this from whom I don't know. I learnt on myself. And you may say that he's talking for hours. I'm not talking for hours. I'm just giving to you my own earning. That earning is experience, which you cannot get without entering into that turbulent world. I did not learn anything of safety, health and environment, aeronautics in my university. And maybe you are not. But in field you have to learn everything. A kind of a discipline learning. Safety, health, environment, ergonomics is complete subject. I talked about for 34 times in that based on my experience and data available. Also, similarly, quality systems quality. After going through many documents written by many high-profile engineers, and also volumes and volumes of specifications, not codes, specifications I'm talking. Specifications very important part. Contracts. I think sometimes you are immersed in them more than what you can immerse in your thesis in your university. Your mind becomes completely fresh. If you are stressed, you read your contract documents, your stress will go on. If you are sad, you immerse in the documents, you'll get out from your tension. It's to use this study as as you can say, narcotic for you. These documents, these drawings, the designs, the specifications, like narcotism. You enjoy like tea and coffee. You enjoy like milk. It's food for your mind. Food for your mind. A really excellent one. Excellent one. आ गया थोड़ी देर होता हूँ. Excellent one and responsible one. Engineering. Forget this. Remember thinking. Thinking is your brain power. Avoid asking questions. Ask yourself. Don't ask every time someone else, give me this, give me that. You are going to spoil yourself by saying so. Remember, this is challenge. Engineering is a challenge. If you can't accept challenge, who can call you engineer? If you can't find solution, who can call you engineer? If you can't do competitive study, who can call you engineer? You can't understand economy, who can call you engineer? And if you can't understand rules and regulations, who can call you engineers? Think of this. Engineering is not technical only, it's with life. If you can't understand laws and your constitution, how shall you help your people, your resources? If you can't understand international world, how can you handle with international community? India is not everywhere. Other countries are also there. You may work here or you may work there. You have to keep in mind all people are not same, all cultures are not same, language is not same, but engineering is same, thinking is same. Thinking is very important part of engineering. If you cannot think means clear concept. You should understand engineering in a clear concept, not unclear concept. Not thinking like those who say, oh, it's uncertain, let us try. Uncertain cannot be tried. Uncertain cannot be accepted. Uncertainty is not acceptable. Certainty is acceptable. If something is not clear, make it clear. Have clear idea. If you can't have clear idea, no meaning of wasting time on that. Time waste means everything is wasted. Time, cost, quality, risk and everything are management organization factors. Time is very important, cost is dependent on time, and quality is dominating, and quality less work is scrap. So first you should have your own quality. Quality as a professional, quality as a leader, quality as a thinker, quality as a walker, quality as a runner, quality as elder brother, quality as parent. Because for your workforce, you are elder brother, you are parent. You may be young, but your power is like parent. They expect their solutions from you. This is human. They come to you to seek certain solutions. You have to listen to them. You cannot say, oh, don't come to my room, I am busy. No, you have to entertain them. Or you can fix some time for that. Because their problems are your problems. If your person, your worker, your workforce is not happy with you, they are illiterate people, but you are dependent on their actions. If they work hard, they work for you or project. Though of course they say they get salary, but without them, they are your wheels, they are your engines. You may be leader, you may be intelligent, but if there is no worker, you sit in chair and take tea and coffee. Engineer depends on them. If they do not work, your machines cannot work. Your material can't be used. So you have to respect them. Be sympathetic with them. Have human values with them. Otherwise, you are like, I can't say what I should use here. I felt very much during this COVID-19 period when millions of these junior workers walked on road in sun, without water, without food, and there was no mercy from government, no mercy from engineers. Nobody talked of them as if their crops, their commodities to be thrown away. Really, it's not question of being emotional, rather rational. We can't do like that. It's a crime. Believe me, it's a crime. Just thinking in your world, I am engineer, I am bending movement, I am this and that. No. Yes, your subject is fine, your discipline is fine, everything is fine. But after all, we should not forget that world is different. I just wanted to talk to you a common way because I wanted first to decide to give some document sharing, but let us say that I'm talking blankly to you so that at least you can listen if you have time. I know you are all very busy. I am not busy. Maybe I am spare part now to be or whatever, but experience experience should be shared if can be possible. It's not my first talk, I know, and it's not last also. Who knows which last would be? But if even something you can get from this, I shall be happy. I would again say, do not rush every time. Think first. And particular to those engineers who are in field of construction, who are responsible for delivery of projects, involve yourself in every document. Don't waste time. You can read documents at home, you have soft copies, you can read, you understand contract, you understand drawings, you understand specifications, you understand methods and right methods. So you would be a busy person. And not only busy, by doing so, you shall create records which may be used by your future people. Young engineers who come, who follow you, you can record in your company, organization, or you can keep for yourself, for your reference as well. And you can say, this is my continuation of learning, continued professional development. Of course, because you self-taught yourself. When you write something in form of method statement, you write after understanding documents. It's not simply because you wanted to write. You have to comply with drawing, you have to comply with all drawings, all the specifications, all contract requirements and everything, and codes and everything, and industry-based methods. That's extract of your complete study. So this is something like technical professional documentation, you can call it. If this is what means, it's a professional document. Professional document, your own work, not referenced work, no reference, your own work. This is your baby. This is your baby. Your copyright, not as method statement, as writing. If you want, you can publish it, no problem. First problem is your writing. You worked on that. It's like a book. You can collect your statements and write. I did so many. I placed them on many, and particularly in safety. But mindset of people are different. I could not understand mindset of structural engineers so far. I don't know. They don't want to move further. They don't want to move further, unfortunately. Only in this country, people don't want to move further. Structural engineers from all over the world, they move further. They move further and further and further, but we don't want. It's our weakness, I should say. What to do, what to say, how to explain, I don't know. I don't want to speak in a bad manner. I don't want to speak in a way that is harmful to anyone. I just want to speak in a professional way. Already I think I have covered some time, more than 2 hours. I just got a few minutes more and then close. Or say that there's another one, quantification. Quantification. It's very important. I missed so far. I'm just talking of that. What is quantification? Estimate, you may say. Costing depends on quantification, and quantification plays very important role in designs as well. I'm not saying you quantify exactly, but when a designer designs something, it's duty of designer also to exactly tell what would be expenses on that design. That is basic fundamental requirement. If you design something, you have to keep in mind cost factor, not of structure alone, but structure as well. And if you say no, I cannot tell you cost on this, then I think it's not a professional work. Means one must have idea what shall be cost on this design, so that if other party is not ready for that, budget doesn't exist for that, how shall they do on that? It's a question on a question, tell me. If I don't know what to do, how to do, what time it will take based on my design, this means I am only a designer. I have no vision. I have no vision. I can only design. So I am a designing machine, you think? I have to respect feed as well. Can be. Don't forget that feed is basics of designs and quantification is quantity of design. If you can't quantify, this means you can't know expenses or budget on that, how shall that person who trusted you that this engineer would give me near reliable design within my budget? Maybe you have to reduce quantity by changing something, or you have to reduce uses of that, you have to reduce coverage of that. And if you can't do that, when you give a bundle of or package of drawings to tenderer, to bidder, you have to in advance know expected price, bid price. And if you do not know that, how can budget be allotted? Allotment of budget. Before contractor can price, you should have an idea of price. And if you don't have that, then you are defective professional. That's what I said. Yes, I'm not saying you directly do that. You might support a quantity engineer, quantity surveyor. And if that quantity surveyor is with you, from time to time, you must know where do we stand by taking this way design or that way design, or where do I need change, or you have to change specifications of finishing items. So it's not your job for finishing items, it's being structural engineer yet. A structure can be changed. Means quantification comes in way of everything. If budget is escalated in initial way, initial time, means there's no control, cost control. Where is cost control? And cost control is planning. And you may have to change something. This is where complication lies. So you cannot freestanding say, I am a freestanding structural engineer. No, you are not freestanding engineer. You have to anchor all these disciplines, particularly cost. This is very important. Later, so you cannot say cost has escalated. How it could escalate? Quantification is nothing but tender. Whatever quantity is done, that should be paid simple, maybe it's lump sum. Ultimately, it's based on accumulation of all quantities and all lump sum. All these points are very important from professional viewpoint. Professional viewpoint. And if you understand that, you help your profession, you help everyone, you help all, and that help is very important. If I can say a few minutes more, I think it's better. I did a lot work in bidding in Abu Dhabi, in Qatar. Abu Dhabi recently in 2004 to 2008. Big tenders I had to deal with. So I was not in charge of the section. I was, lead engineer there, and I was responsible for support. I mean to say, going through all contract document which we received from clients, major clients, go through them, analyze completely, understand scope of work and all other contractual parameters, and then submit report to organizational board whether or not this project is feasible. They have to see, and then if agreed, okay, we will follow this in our charter. So then further work was given, is a coordination work, calling quotations, working out quantities and all that through other staff. I was once working on a pipeline project, very big pipeline, I think hundreds of kilometers pipeline, and this was a document from very big company, forest company. I don't want to take name. I was going through calculations in a very fundamental way, and I discovered that there was a considerable error in their quantification. I could not understand what they said, what parameters they adopted, what foundation concrete they adopted. I think it is 120 kilometer length of pipeline, 120 kilometer length of water pipeline, and quantity given in their BOQ was 400,000 cubic meters. It stunned me, because when I said 120 kilometer pipeline, whatever foundation concrete is, it's not coming more than 200,000 cubic meters in any way, whatever way. I says, no, I had to think on that. And I thought on that and wrote to our senior, this is wrong. He asked me, what you are saying? I said, yes, this is wrong. You are challenging it. This company, I don't care which company, I care this is wrong. Well, question was raised. They could not stop. The question came from me. I didn't get an answer from that company. But that company revised BOQ. There is no answer. And quantity of this 400,000 was slashed to 150,000. 150,000 means 150 over 400. What do you say? 40%? That's what I say. Never work in panic. Work in concentration. Concentration is very important. Nervous state makes mistake. And confidence. No ignorance. Do it. Check yourself. Okay, today you are tired, no problem. Tomorrow you check yourself. Do not realize it to be a part of ridicule. Yes, 5% this way, 5% that way, agreeable, but to such an extent, not agreeable. Can't. Well, this is one only experience. There were many other points too which I had. What I mean to say is, I am not trying to give my details. I'm saying that discipline of civil itself is very comprehensive and complex. Sometimes very complicated works are done very easily, and sometimes very easy works are complicated for nothing. That's where we fail, we pass. Nobody will come to you to tell you this is your error. Nobody would say that because people are not concerned about others. Why should I concern about you and why should you concern about me? So you are a responsible person, do yourself. That's right, you are a responsible person. You are taking charge of something. You are in charge of that, you are responsible for that. Why should I interfere? I am busy with my work. Even if I am your senior reporting to me, I will see superficially only, have an assessment, and I'll say, okay, person is responsible. But when it is beaten on you, it's hammered on you, you won't be able to digest. That's what I say. So, my dear friends, this talk, special talk, I arranged for explanation to all engineers. And I'll appeal, I request Institution of Engineers India to initiate real work, quality concrete, quality engineers, legal basis for engineers, understanding of system of law by engineers. Those engineers who do not understand system of nation, they are somewhere defective in profession. They always seek advice from others. We can do mathematical work, we can do technical work, we can do all types of complicated work. What's the problem in reading few pages of law? I'm not saying be judges, be advocates, but just like we know safety, health, quality, we should know something about our country so that we know who is doing what. It doesn't mean that we are going against someone. If I understand my constitution of this country, it's my privilege, not as a voter, but I have to understand who is who. If somebody asks me when I work abroad, overseas, I argued with many people. Many politicians kept them silent. Don't talk about this because you do not know about my country. And if you don't answer them, they think you know nothing. That's why I say open. Be open to everything. Be open to every kind of subject, every kind of understanding. Life is not what you think it is. Life is always moving and moving and moving. And we are going to some portion which may not be ours one day. Thanks to these media, Facebook, etc., which allow us videos sharing, knowledge sharing, and we can directly talk to people. At least if not talk, we can pass messages. We can talk on video calling, but I'm getting many calls. I know they ask nothing except they want to see my face. They can see on video also. If you have real questions, then I'll be glad. You can come on. We can organize in Facebook room. Facebook.com provides rooms. We can invite everyone to that room. You can invite me, I can invite you, but they should be professional. It should not be personal. It should not be nonsense. It should be sensible. Sensible invitation. People call nonsense and I don't like it. They want to talk sexuality. I don't like it. I don't support it. This is nonsense. Means if you are having some problem, go to doctor and examine your mind. It's professional world. Well, we should respect society. We should respect profession. That's what we have. And if you can't do that, better don't call me. I'm interested in your call. I don't want you waste my time and your time for nothing. Yes, friendship is one way. That's Facebook friendship. It's not personal friendship. And moreover, I'm now in bed. I can't walk, I can't stand. So I do not expect irrelevant calls. I talk to only those whom I know personally or who respect ethics. If you want complete nonsense, thank you very much. Don't call me. And you are sending nonsense photos or videos which I delete and I block them. Don't expect me to associate with you in that foolish activity. It's now around 2.5 hours today. I can't continue more because I'm tired. I've not taken even a glass of water in between, but I like to close after a few minutes. Just having a summarize. To summarize what we talk is, was talked about project, operations, we talked about systems, about quality, about safety, health, environment and ergonomics. Ergonomics is nothing new but maybe new for you guys. Its best ways that ergonomics means utilization of energies. Utilization of energies we have in the best manner. You have to ensure that who is working with you physically, that person should not have undue stress from activities. Means minimum stress should be shared, not maximum one. It's ergonomics, economical energy use. It's called how to use your energy in economical way for best results. What height, just like say you should sit in chair, what height should be a monitor, computer, in what direction you should sit or walk, or what you should do, how your worker should work, so they get minimum fatigue stress. That's ergonomics. Safety, is there, health is there, and where the hazards are there. You have to analyze all job activities, job hazards. It's called JHA, Job Hazard Analysis or Start Cards, which is very important technical work. Means I have given all examples in my safety related, safety, health and this related one. You might not have gone through that. You can go through that. There's no problem in that. Well, I talked about quality system, about safety, quality, and documentation, responsibility of quality on head of company or on head of division or whosoever, not exclusive on quality engineer. That's what it's given in ISO 9001 2015. You are free to refer to that. And also procedure or method writing and compliance with that are very important points. I think this is what we talked today, and the responsibility of engineers, and what project is, what engineer is. All these points we have covered. I think this is enough for this talk, 2.5 hour talk. I I will give you another talk for document share. That's for concrete. I last day talked about 40 pages on that, and also in addition to that, material testing, soil testing, and that report I started with already before my accident. I talked a lot on that, and also then FedEx silver. So I was continuing. I'll continue with that gradually. Meanwhile, and see how it happens. I'll see. I'll give my third health bulletin also after my stitches are removed, and we see what happens then. Meanwhile, I am now trying to close this already. I think maybe you are feeling bored with so long talk, though I am not bored yet, but I don't want to bore you. And moreover, I say that I like to close now. I hope some of you shall enjoy this or may not enjoy this. That's up to you. If you don't want to enjoy, nobody can force you. If you think that I'm just speaking because I like speaking, you can do that. No problem. I am doing my job and I'll keep doing that way. With this, dear friends, thank you very much. I'm closing it. Bye bye.